Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted with Raygan. And today we have with us James Maxwellson, right?
Sure.
The CEO of Scolpta. Maxwell, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Raygan.
Maxwell is fine, right?
James.
James. Okay, so James, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you feeling?
I am feeling good.
They like your beard, though. Some of us, every time I read the last, I used to use that oil some, but it never came.
We've been there before.
You've been there before. Anyways, Unscripted. I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of the episodes. You mentioned you watched Joshua's own.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I'm going to talk about your journey, where everything started from, how you became a CEO. I like the title CEO. And we'll talk about your company. We'll talk about branding and all that. So please introduce yourself to us.
Yes, James Maxwellson. Honestly, I don't like the word CEO.
Yeah, you told me.
I think it's a big word, yeah. I'm the lead strategy and growth for Scolpta.
Okay.
Scolpta is a brand experience and then design. We don't call ourselves an agency, we are a team. Basically, along three paths, we do branding, we do digital, and we do impact. Right? We are the upside down team.
Mm-hmm. You are the what?
Upside down team.
Upside down team. What does that mean?
Yeah, everyone finds it interesting. Upside down is not actually turned this way, but what we mean is that we do things looking upside and then down. So we are all around, we are big on details, we are big on anything cool, we are big on being anti-boring, we are big on working, playing, and growing.
Is that the reason for the logo?
Kind of, yeah. Actually inspired. We don't call it a logo, we call it a scroll.
So people have like your own dictionary sort of.
Yeah, you get lost where it does, please.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, so basically been running since 2018. It's been an interesting one. Having a number of people running the show. I think even just last week or back we had an event, Brand Up Connect. Basically it. We are trying to do big things this year as well.
Why did you say you don't call yourself an agency but a team?
We actually want to break that whole big barrier. Like, there's this big entity where you have to pass through to get your work done. We always say you can't just work with people, working with people. You could have a whole project done, big agency, and probably some national service person is doing it for you. Or some intern is the one running the show for you. Yeah, you want to say, actually when you come to your space, when you start working, you see people in and out. It feels like it's a family. Basically, we call our clients friends. So, yeah, we don't do it.
I like the way you guys have, I like the idea of working in a place where they have like their own terminologies. What inspired that?
Culture.
Interesting. Anyways, as James, right? Outside Scolpta, where did the journey start? What did you explore before becoming a brand, getting into like the brand aspect?
Interestingly, I've loved art. I've loved design since I was young. I think somewhere in class 4, I was almost repeated. Shark boy from class 1, class 2, class 3. Mm-hmm. And I think parents are like, hey, guys, you have to stop drawing. I think I used to draw a lot of Mickey Mouse, a lot of the logos. I used to draw a lot of the logos and stuff as young as I was. And I had to focus on books. Growing up all the way to the best school in Ghana, PSEC.
Everybody that comes here see the best school in Ghana. So which one is the best?
It's PSEC, yeah.
Please, let's continue.
Having to do science, moving to KNUST to do meteorological engineering. Honestly, I was on the path of finish school, get a job. Right. To be honest, no dream, no ambition, Charlie. Because I didn't even like the science I was doing. I didn't like the engineering, but I just knew I had to do something. I hadn't really discovered what really I wanted to do. But I think it was when I was in third year, I had this friend who tried running a show, more like a stage play. Yeah, she reached out to me and said, could I act? I was like, called my friends. To be honest, I didn't even know anything acting. I was like, let's just pass through. Honestly, I wasn't interested. Looked at everything, wasn't interested. Sadly, she didn't even have that event that year. She was done at school and then said, James, I want you to help me to sell some forms for an audition for my next play. tried it. Honestly, I honestly even forgot about it. It was like, it was the very day and she contacted me, have you sold any forms? I hadn't sold anything. That was when I went to...
You took the thing and forgot about it.
I forgot about it, Charlie. But interestingly, was able to sell 2 forms that very day and said, okay, I have this. These are your forms. Fast track it. She had the event, first event. It was all over the place. People heard about it. Good brand awareness, but people didn't come.
Good income.
Yeah. On tech, it was very popular. I was part of a crew. People didn't come for the show. And I was wondering, like, how did a lot of people know about this, but didn't show up?
Right.
She happened to sell the rights. I don't know whether sell the rights, but she had some people pay for her to show that, to have the event again, and still they didn't show up. Second time.
Okay, I'll go in.
And honestly got me very, very curious. Like, Charlie,
what's the problem? Yeah.
I was really thinking out loud, like, what's really the problem? And I think for the next event, I called my friends and I was like, Charlie, let's run a hype. I don't know what's a hype company, a hype group. 10 boys talking, flint. Oh, nobody was interested. We ended up being 2.
At the event, or like the people that came together?
Like, yeah, okay. We ended up being 2. Then we started what we called Vim Expos. We were sharing flyers. Joshua Cleopas, I think he gave us one of our first gig in Kumasi. He did this. It was this ice cream company that had come first. He had designed their flyers.
Oh yeah, I think he mentioned that on the episode.
Yes. And then I think he reached out and said he wants people to distribute the flyers. So I'm like, cool. So we started a company. Can we just do it?
Yeah.
Well, that's how we were able to share some 15,000 flyers in Kumasi. It was nice. Hyping one event here and there, party here, party there. Entertainment was looking nice. I was like, this is really cool. Until I was done with school, national service. There was this Nigerian international student who had this year event. And I'm like, I should design. And that's when I even started designing as well.
Okay.
Designed some flyers for them. And they were like, what they pay me, can I invest into the event? Oh, that's how the party flopped.
Because of the investment?
Not investment. I think it rained.
Oh.
Lost everything. And I was like, Charlie, this entertainment thing, I don't think it's for me. So that's how I switched from this whole entertainment space. I was designing a lot of flyers. I think when I started, I moved more towards the designing space, designing a lot of flyers. After national service, I was like, I'm done with entertainment.
What year was this?
This was in 2015. I was done in the national service in 2016.
Okay.
Fast forward, and it's even the national service, I didn't want to do national service. You know how when you start, you have this wild entrepreneurship, ambition, you want to just
go for it.
Charlie, Charlie. Let me just go for it. But yeah, it was a friend, more like a brother, who advised that if you don't want to do your national service, why not do your national service in an ad agency so you can gain some experience? Like, this is cool. I actually registered my national service when the first posting was done.
This was someone who has planned that.
I don't go do it. Yeah, but interestingly, I did it. I think that was like I think it was one of the best things that happened to me, because I honestly didn't learn anything agency design, but I learned way too more. Where I was placed, I learned marketing, I learned management, I learned people skills, I learned finance, I learned everything there. Fast forward, yes, around that time, I was running the same business with this person who advised me, because he was already in the corporate space. And we decided to run something. We were running. It was good. But along the lines, I think our ambitions and visions had to change. So we just had to fall apart. And in 2018, that was when Scolpta was born. Then I was running Scolpta, I was running more like a freelancer. Right.
What was the initial plan for Scolpta when you started?
I think it's what's happening now.
Okay.
Yeah. because I had learned a lot. I found my direction in my previous agency that I formed with my friend. I'd already known the direction I wanted to go with this new business. And even though a lot has changed over the years, but I always had wanted to do branding.
Okay.
Just develop brands, manage brands from the strategy angle of things, not just beautiful designs or aesthetics.
Right.
And I think along the lines, we've moved from even branding to now even being more of an impact business.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why we had the event we had last week. That was Brand Up Connect, where we're building communities. What we say, we are driving conversations for collective growth. And where I think 2 years in a row, we've been having what we call Design the Next. That's moving the next change makers by design. We've impacted or touched a number of children in a public schools across our street.
Okay.
Last year, we did something amazing for them by breaking down sustainability conversations to these young ones, where they did some upcycling, they did some tree planting. We had to convert some old tires, change some of their water bottles into their pencil holders, stuff like that. Then fast forward to this year, where we are looking at doing about 800 children. That's a big event, and then having a school tour with our big focus on AI and tech.
Okay.
So yeah, we've moved from just doing brands designs to
impact.
more of an impact. So what we do now is what we are saying is that we are shaping brands that impact today and tomorrow. So more beyond everything you do, how does it impact? Yeah, in a nutshell, that's it. That's James and Scolpta, yeah.
Interesting. All right, now let's pick the topic of branding, because that's what we're just talking about. So now, as Scolpta, you've moved from just designing brands to kind of like the statement you just made. If you can repeat that.
Okay, shaping brands to impact tomorrow. So brands that impact.
So brands that impact. So now to you, when you're thinking about branding, you're thinking about impact.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think branding is in general? Then you mentioned something that when you were working in an ad agency, you learned about marketing, management, people skills, and all that.
Interesting. I didn't do my national service in an ad agency.
Not the ad agency.
No, I did my national service in I'd say as a tech.
Oh. Okay.
How do you call it? Telecom company.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So I want us to speak about that. But what is branding to you?
Branding has a lot of meanings. To be honest, I think the meanings keep changing here and then, right? But personally, I think branding is about perception. Basically, what anybody thinks about you, whether it be a business, whether it be an organization, or even a person, right? What do I think about you? What is it that I think about? What perception am I putting out there about you? And I think a lot of these things drive whatever milestone you want to achieve, whether it's being profit, whether it's being reaching your right target audience, whether it's being attracting the right investors. So basically, that's where we'd move to the design people, where we'd say our logos, our colors, our stylescape, and stuff like that. Interestingly, being at both ends, people within a marketing space, I think, have a different perception about what branding is. They'll be looking at more marketing, sales approach. They're looking at how do you measure brand equity? How is this bringing me money? When I put in X amount, how is it translating to that? And really not about the visuals. It's really about how we are really projecting our unique selling points. How are we projecting our values? How are we segmenting our target audience? How are we doing all of those things? So basically, bridging these two gaps, yes, we have all these big strategies. The design people, the copywriters, the creatives. Basically, I think merging these two gives us a very good brand identity. But brands, whether it being your name, whether it being your logo, whether it being anything, is basically to drive perception. And to be honest, you don't even need to sometimes have these things have a perception, because everything has a perception. Your watch seller out there has a perception. This man, if you go in there, Incho no dey be.
Okay. So me, I don't understand you when you say it's more than just the logos, because that's what people are going to see. Oh,
I still use the watches. I just have a logo.
no.
How's the name? Some watches don't even have name.
So how is that perception created for a brand that's now coming up?
So I think the reason why we have all these things is because over the years, research, I think these are the things that have made us say, let's be intentional about our perception, right? So I'd go back to where there was the shepherd days, where they were selling cattle. Question is, how are you separating this person's cattle from this other person? How do you separate this person's sheep from this other? So basically, what they do is they mark the animals, right? Yeah. So when you see a blue cross, it's for this person. When you see a red, it's for this person. And that's basically identification, right? So I think all of these things this is what have trickled down to why we have logos, right? And logos are like a big deal. I hear designers say my logo means this, X, black. I don't say a logo shouldn't have a meaning, but I think honestly, it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't have to be that deep.
Oh, it has to be deep. But it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Because at the end, the end game is to represent something. It's for you to identify all the good things that you're doing. Let's say this is unscripted, right? Basically, what you're doing, you told me when we started that I'm not asking you questions. I'm generating questions from what you say.
Yeah.
All right. That is basically the kind of perception you want to put out there. X person watches this thing and says, "Oh, I like it." Next person says, "I'm seeing this. I like this." So the question is, beyond, if I don't listen to you, if I don't even get opportunity to hear you, when I need to share to someone, how do you identify that this is a Raygan's podcast, or this is a Raygan show? So basically, anything to get you to identify you as an entity is basically why I would have the logo. Should it have a meaning? I think yes, because it should remind us of everything we stand for.
Okay.
Right. You're asking me about why we have our logo this way. Does it represent anything upside down? Literally it's an arrow, but then you could see usually arrows, you see them pointing up. But I realize that always is pointing the other way. That's not even the meaning. All we're saying is that upside down, yes, subconsciously remember upside down mean this way. Okay, let's feed that to you, but that's not what it means. This is actually this is how you draw your graph, a linear graph. The X, Y, and then I'll go I'll dy dx where you want to calculate your
if you didn't do math, we are sorry. Okay.
So basically it, right? So I enter this space and you usually recognize that this is a company shirt. But I'm not sure when I walk on the street anybody would recognize it. Once I don't have anything to do with it, I don't care about anything that's happening. And I see a lot of designers being excited about logos and saying blah blah blah. I'm not sure we go around asking ourselves what does the Mercedes-Benz logo mean, what does the Nike logo mean. So it's that we get excited and we want to have a Balenciaga on our shirt, even when it's fake, right? So basically, yes, logos they are a big deal, but I think it should come from a point. It should really represent something. It should remind everyone around about what we stand for. If you decide to use a horse for your logo, are you using a horse because you are saying my business is faster, or you guys have an innate or an innate value or a real unique selling point that you want to project both intrinsically and extrinsically? Then that we can say we could have a reason for a logo. Nevertheless, I honestly think having to force everyone to buy into the idea of a good logo that has an extreme meaning, I honestly think it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so James, you were talking about your logo, right? You mentioned that it represents a graph. What was the meaning? Why a graph? Why? Because I mean, there's also a graph. Well, back then, there used to be a graph that was like a plus.
Yeah,
Why
that's
didn't you use that one?
there's negatives,
Then the
negative
positives.
X, negative Y. Question is, do we want to move in the negative or want to move in the positive?
So that was why you had.
So that's positive X, that's positive Y. Right. And honestly, if you really, really look at it carefully, you realize that one is going upwards, one is going sideways, and one is almost going downwards. So it still represents the three legs that is going up, side, and down.
Interesting. So the logo is a big deal, but it has to mean something. That's what I think.
It doesn't just have to mean something.
It doesn't just have to mean
Something. Yeah. I'll give you a scenario. One of our designers, we do a lot of presentations in-house. We like what we call daily diffs. It's basically what it means is that we have to learn something every day. We are big on building capacity, upgrading ourselves. So we usually have, I don't want to mention a lot of names, but I have some presentations on Fridays. And you would have our designers present, and you can't tie it to any emotion. You can't tie it to any goal. You can't tie it to anything. They start and all they are saying is, this is my logo, and it means the legs are pointed because it's facing the sun. This is doing that because it's facing the sun. And the question we ask is, so what? You get it? So it having a meaning means it has to represent something. That's what you remember earlier. I mentioned that you need to bridge the gap between the designers and the marketing strategies people.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're doing as a designer is translating all these big conversation, all these big documents, all these big strategy documents, marketing, proposition, all of those things into your logo. Right. And how well do you present it? So well that when someone sees it, they know this is what we're trying to say. And that's basically what I've said. That's basically why I think you need to have a meaning to your logo, but not just because every logo is supposed to have a meaning. If your logo doesn't have a meaning, I think it's fine.
It can be abstract.
Yeah, but the more abstract it is, the more. And the interesting thing is that the more abstract it gets, the better sometimes, because you have people asking you why.
Okay.
That could even generate a conversation.
Okay.
Right. And imagine after saying all of these things, and I come in touch with you, and all everything is not really resonating with how you guys behave. Like for us, anybody, we call our clients friends. Anyone that comes in touch with us, we say, hey, they're upside down people. They're upside down people, because most of the things we bring on the table are different. When you enter our space, you're hearing different words. You're not hearing learn. We say daily diff. We daily sprint. You hear up talk, up speak, upscale.
That's a serious culture there.
Yes.
Interesting. So with the marketing bit, right? I mean, so if I'm understanding, marketing still falls under branding. Does it?
I think they're dependent and independent.
Okay.
Right. Branding is a long term. Right. Branding is if my business is lasting 50 years. Right. Branding is saying this 50 years, how well are you building that brand equity? How long are you building that perception over these 50 years? Marketing is more like the means to the end.
Marketing is to achieve something.
It's to achieve it. Like you have a goal, sometimes short-term goals, sometimes mid-term goals, even sometimes long-term goals.
Okay.
But let me use it this way. You'd have a cake, right? You know how we would say how some businesses would treat branding as the icing on the cake. I personally think branding is the sugar in the cake, right? I'd rather put marketing as the icing on the cake.
Okay.
Why? It's attractive, it's cool, it's drawing everybody closer to what we really represent.
Okay.
You get me? So you realize there's a cake, and all of these things fall under the cake, and they're all different good ingredients to make up the cake. So they are not really independent. They are not dependent as well. So we have to just bridge the gap.
On the topic of management, I mean, I like the things you mentioned there: marketing, management, and people skills. Right? How are you managing the team? You're a team lead. How are you managing them?
Our team is called the app team. It's called the app team. We have upsiders and insiders.
Today we are hearing things.
Yeah.
Please explain.
Outsiders are people that are working in full-time permanently. I mentioned that we are impact driven. So we have another impact project where we call Inside. Inside is basically working with the next gen. What we're saying is that we give people in schools opportunities to work with us. So come run internship with us. And to be honest, we haven't really hired anybody out of internship. Yes, we haven't hired anybody out of doing internship in this space. And the reason why we call them insiders because come inside. And you know how, I don't know if it's changed now, but before being an intern, all you need to do is buy wachi or buy newspapers.
I think it's still happening now.
Yeah. It's still happening, okay. But what we say is that you're an intern today, a full-time worker tomorrow, because you enter the space after your orientation, really good orientation. Tomorrow you are working. And you won't even know this person is an intern and this person.
Okay.
So when we use the right words, you know this person is an insider or this person is an outsider.
Okay.
Right. And I think being able to groom people from the internship phase or the inside phase and moving into the be an outsider. Yes, you'd understand how we do things. You understand that we are really upside down, right? You understand that you need to look inside but think outside the box. You need to just be different. You need to work the extra hours to make yourself better. And because we have our daily dips and our upskill, where we are intentional about people upgrading themselves, I think it's one of the things that have made things a bit easy. And let me be honest, I think Scolpta has the best team, right? We have the best team.
I also have the best team.
I agree. Like coming here, seeing all these wonderful people, putting things together, getting the place set up, like, oh, this is really cool. Like, I'm not seeing you saying, hey, you move this, move that. Yeah. I think that was really super cool. My question is, how did you do it?
Please, I'm the one doing the interview.
Actually, in our space, you don't call it interview, conversations. You have to ask a question. So that's why I'm asking you a question.
Oh, interesting. Do you want an answer?
Yes, I love an answer.
Okay. So, normally, I do participate in like the whole setup. Today was intentional.
Okay.
I decided, I don't know if they realized, but when they were doing it, I didn't mind anybody to see. And I realized that, this boy actually, doing. The only person that came late was this guy. And I had to do his work for him. But, he came and then he had to, do. Well, I feel like, and I think I've learned this from the interview, like, talking to people and all that. It's just about giving them ownership of their work. Because once they feel like, this is my work, then they are going to do it. This guy knows that he has to be behind this camera. So if this camera is not there, he has to take it. Okay. This one knows that. This one knows that. And they know that the light has to be here and here, so they are going to do that. Okay. It's just giving them ownership to do what.
I think this has to allow people to make mistakes.
Yeah,
that's just it.
Because this morning when he came, I was mentioning the last interview, we did this and this mistake. I was like, he realized, which means this one is not going to happen. So,
some mistakes may cost you, though.
Yeah. That's so true. I think when we interviewed Meister, we did one of the cameras got messed up and we lost like 45 minutes of footage.
Wow.
Fortunately for us, that particular episode, we shot a wide, so we had to, use that part. So some mistakes can cause it, but allow them make it sometimes.
Oh yeah, but I think you should be around as well.
Yeah.
Also, if you also leave people to really do a lot of things too, it's sometimes not the best as well. It's more like you have to be there, not there, act like
you just have to know when to. Yeah.
I just think it's a very difficult process. To be honest, I think where we are in Ghana here, the way a lot of us were raised up is actually plays a big part in how we do things, because a lot of people are not able to even express. Everybody's waiting for, hey boss, hey bosses, I should do this,
which is not good.
Sometimes I think it's good.
Well,
but honestly, it's not good.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it's good, because I'd ask myself, why can't you just do it?
Yeah.
But I've come to understand that the way we're raised, we have to respect everybody, quote or unquote. We are being raised not to destroy things. So If you feel like a big deal for everyone. So you don't have people standing up to a lot of things, right? And I think that is something that we have been intentional about.
Okay.
Right. We allow you to fail, but whenever you fail, there's a backup.
Because I trust you, I don't trust you 100%.
So we also have a term for it.
For what I just said.
Yeah.
What term is it?
Create free.
Create free. So that's like you can create, but then if you do make a mistake,
create free. If you make a so and there's also what we call make possible. Whatever it is, just make it happen.
Okay.
Right. So I think it's basically the kind of values we've created over the years. There are things we've identified over the years, and I think we have a culture book where when you come, you are given the culture book, you kind of understand this is where we are, who we are, this is how we run things. Once you start getting into it, like when you're always finding new names, and we name everything, and you'll be surprised to be there, and this set has a name, everything has a name. And the names don't even come from everybody could come up with a name.
Okay.
Once it comes to the name, it goes into our lexicon. So basically I think we just have we have what we call our whole model for managing people. It's what we call work, play, grow. Simply it. I think it has helped shape everybody. It has helped make working easy with everyone. I would say it's 100%, but I think it's very good. It's very good. Yeah.
Work, play, grow.
Yeah.
I think I'm adapt the whole, giving names to everything because it's I like it because from the beginning you mentioned it's like a family.
Yeah.
So it's like your own world. You have your own language that everybody there understands.
Yeah.
Now, how do people call money over there? Oh, it's still money.
I don't think we've thought about it.
You please do.
Oh.
So that's it. My money is not in. People have not paid us. We can.
I don't think we've thought about it.
You
but we'll definitely get it.
You should do.
And anything injects us to name something. So.
Please do. Let's go back to branding. Looking at the brands in Ghana, right? I mean, you mentioned people are developing brands to impact. What do you think these brands are doing wrong in terms of mistakes and all that? That's one. Secondly, yesterday I saw a tweet about marketing, and one guy was mentioning something about brands are doing marketing wrong now and all that. I would like you to touch on that if you have any idea.
So blacks are doing marketing
brands
are doing
marketing wrong.
Marketing wrongly. As basically part of the process for selecting was a company. It's a hospital actually. It's about that. I'm sure by the time it starts,
This episode, yeah.
It's a no. That's the foundation hasn't even been done. Yeah, but I think it was a UK company that interestingly won the gig to do the whole architecture, and it's a whole different ball game. What I've come to understand that the dynamics of businesses are changing. Probably here we might not really be big on it, but that's really because a lot of us don't have the luxury to buy things because we have enough liquid or not enough cash. We buy what is available. But in developing economies, right, or developed economies, they've moved beyond just buying and selling to actually selling impact. There was a time, I think, there's a time where people weren't buying Ghana cocoa because they felt, or it was known that we had a lot of child labor on the field, right?
Okay.
And because they didn't want to support or promote child labor, the best thing is you're not buying your stuff. And that's a big deal, right? You have a lot of businesses running their brands or businesses and putting CSR as a checkbox to tick. Right now, in order to get some huge funds, in order to get certain things, you need to really make impact a big deal, an icing on the cake. Not an icing on the cake, but part of the elements in the cake, right? And let's be honest, how many designers really do impact? All we care about is being freelancers,
designing
go? Have you thought about even going to a school nearby and say, I want to do something for you? Right? Impact is a big deal. Should be a big deal in building brands now, right? Beyond profits. Even everything impact even helps you make better profits, because where you'd want to go, the kind of clients you'd want to attract. I'm speaking to the design community now. You'd want to attract, you need to even show you have some impact, something you've done. 3 years ago, we lost a bit, not because we didn't qualify for it. I think it was one of the things that sparked a lot of conversation around impact. And the question they asked was, have you done any CSR? We hadn't done any CSR. And that's how we lost it. Fast forward 2024, we had the same people call us and say, we want you to do something for us. And impact is a big deal. So I think in building brands now, I think we need to consider impact first. Impact even makes you to even look beyond. Makes you look beyond what you're doing, right? Because questioning is, how does it even hit my target market well?
Right.
Because you're thinking impact, you are able to think in those lines really well. You remember Black Lives Matter, and all these things happen there. Realize when you look at the campaign messages, the designs, the graffitis, they were very, very skewed towards this project. And in some way or the other, it actually impacted what happened. I think one of the best brands I've seen so far in political marketing is the Obama brand. I think it was Yes You Can. Right. You had that whole blue red thing. It was so strong a brand, right? I realized that it wasn't really targeted towards vote for me. It had a strong message of impact. Right. Once you start thinking impact, you are impacting not just people in the they're not just impacting people who you feel will bring you the money. You're also even impacting the different businesses that you think you want to run. The second question, I think I've said too many things. I'm actually lost.
The marketing one.
You said what brands are not doing right?
Yes, and then brands are doing marketing wrong now.
It depends. Right now, I think the markets are very unpredictable. You could have a strategy today, next 3 months, it's not relevant. Even the big thing of marketing budgets, you could probably budget X amount. You decide to run the project in 3 months. If you had budgeted X amount and the real value is now, you have to divide it by 3 because of where we are. Forex is a problem, right? You realize that probably what you had to project, you can't really do it. Sometimes I don't blame companies when they are not giving agencies and businesses enough budget to run. Because you are at every point you need to cut your budget. If you'd have to move, because you budgeted 3x, it means I need to get value of 3x now. Are you ready to give me that 3x value? Right. So I think we need to really adapt to change very rapidly, extremely fast. Interestingly, I think this is where the conversation of young people come in. Just recently, I heard Cisco, they don't hire their creative directors below, I may be wrong, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's, if not 35, it's 25. And I think it's true, it's cool, because imagine your dad trying to look cool wearing Durac and trying to act all young, right? It's funny, right? But the people running the show, the people in there really know how to run the show. I think you should put young people at the higher seat of strategy, people at the seat of the big decisions, making the big decisions. I think you should put people on those high tables as well. And I think it's about time we all embrace new ideas. You may know a lot, my guy. There's a lot of things that you may not know now.
The thing about young people higher seats, it will take a while, because these people, they don't want to step the young people to come and say? Or is it that the young people are not ready to take it?
To be honest, I think nobody will give you a seat when I don't believe in you. That's just it. Like an example, you Raygan. If I'm sure right now some people would want to make some big decisions, they can contact you. Why? You have an audience, right? You have people listening to you. You can come and give numbers, right? Then when I need to make big decisions, I'll call you.
Right.
But where you have nothing to prove, you haven't shown anything. And I think that's where the problem is. We lack a lot of gratification without even showing work. We are big on outcomes. We complain, why are they not putting me on the seats? But guy, I haven't done anything. You get me?
Yeah.
I just think we should be as dynamic as possible. We should be ready to change strategies and plans almost every time. You could have plan A, plan B. That's why you have to Z.
Yeah, you have like 27 options.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think that is one. Also, I think we get stuck. I know there's what we call blending, right?
Talk to me.
It's what we call blending. We're all trying to look the same. Everybody's doing black. Right?
Okay.
I love black. I'm sure you love black. A lot of people love black. I don't think it's wrong. Right? Nevertheless, I think we don't really look deep. I earlier mentioned unique selling points. Right? We don't really look deep to ascertain what I can bring to the table.
Yeah.
There are too many design agencies. There are a million graphic designers. There are a lot of UI. UX is a big deal right now. Sadly, we are saying AI has come to take our jobs. I cannot believe it. I kind of don't believe it. But there are too many of these things. Questioning is, what am I bringing to the table? I think when you start thinking of what I'm bringing into the table, whether you are a person, whether you are an individual, whether you're a company, whether you are a social enterprise, whatever, I think once you're able to understand that really well, you know what directions to take and not really move because there's a trend happening.
Yeah.
Right? You'd move with the trend because you know I am using this trend to project my core message. Right? I think when we are able to do that as well, secondly, we should be able to do things right. Because to be honest, we are in a very cluttered place right now. Like unlike before where we'd have, when you want to design a marketing strategy, I'm going to look at radio, people are going to listen to news at 6 p.m. So that's a peak period. I could use that time to sell my products. When I do 3 months, I know it's a very good ad campaign. People are going to get the message and start buying, start my BTL, below the line marketing, distributing in stores. Once the brand awareness is there, there's a big mind share and I'll be able to buy. Now it's very different. To be honest, I don't know the number of TV stations now.
Sure.
And social media, right? It's even sad. You put in all your what you call the big idea, and someone will skip it in seconds. Because I'm just not interested. Because of the willpower, you'd have to do things extra. Where you'd have maybe a month or two to design an ad. Now sometimes you just have a day to come up with content. So a lot of very work content out there. Influencers are not even doing giveaways is like a big deal right now. A lot of big giveaways.
Please come for him.
I don't have a problem with influencers. Let me be honest. I think influencers have their place. But we sometimes place influencers as the pinnacle of our marketing strategies. We sometimes feel when I shoot a lot of if I put in X amount into sponsored ads, it's going to sell my products if I do this. But integrated marketing communication has become even more complex. You need to put in influencers, you need to do social media, you need to do stories, it's really, really, really messy out there. So honestly, navigating that part to actually even market your product or service or whatever has become more complicated. And I don't really blame a lot of people because it has become more difficult, even though it has become easier.
It has become difficult, but at the same time, it's
become
if you know a way around it.
I think it's cheaper sometimes in a way.
Okay.
Once you have a voice, if you've been able to build 100,000 followers, guys, sell products you sell. But I'm not sure you invested, maybe you had $1 million budget to get to where you are, right? Yeah. So it's easier. It's because right now you are selling, you could be selling in your room and be making a lot of things. As compared to first, where you need to rent a shop. Shops are expensive. Some would even say pay goodwill of 5 years. Some would say 10 years. After getting that, you need to stock your shop. If people don't come, you are losing. If it's food, stuff like that. Right now, there's a lot of pre-order. Like, there are a lot of these things. So your WhatsApp status, people are sharing all around. So I think it's easier now, but difficult.
I agree. All right, so we've said so many things, but if I understand, one of the mistakes brands are doing now is they're not creating impact, basically.
I think so. You're not thinking impact first.
I agree. Even on the topic of designers, when projects comes in, because when you were speaking, I was just thinking, most of the time we just want to do the work. We just want to do the work, and that's it. Yeah. We're not thinking about the people that are being impacted by the work that's being done. Yeah. Okay, let's come to Scolpta. If let's say a client, because I like to make some things practical, right? Say a friend comes in.
Thank you. Thank you.
A friend comes in, they have a project and all that. What's like the process you take them through, especially a branded project? What are the things you are going to be asking there?
You want me to move from closing the deal or?
Yeah, we want to learn.
From starting the closing of the deal?
Yeah, from starting to closing. So like the money part and all that.
Well, the money there no go come inside.
Not the figures, but like how the negotiation goes. I mean.
Yeah. So I'd just say a project we're running currently, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not branding, but I'd still say one of the ways we're able to close it was keeping long. And what we said was, can we create content for your Women's Day? Because you've seen your portfolio, they have other options, but they've seen your portfolio. You know, a lot of people out there, this year we decided to go out there, all out. That's why I'm here. Right? And then we said, you guys are keeping long. Can we do a Mother's Day post? A Women's Day post for you. We did recorded and said, shoot. The following day, the CEO was like, let's get working, right? Because she liked everything. Okay. I'm like, cool. Usually another project too, very, very interesting project, right? I think we're 3 from, I don't know, a big number to 3. And we had to go through the interview process, blah, blah, blah. I think one of the things that made us stand out for the people was what I just told you. Their logo doesn't have to have a meaning. That was because we knew a lot of the other people were going to say that. And it wasn't just Ghana. We had different agencies from, I think there was one from South Africa, there was one from Ghana, and there was one from Nigeria. Just we won the project, right? And that's how we didn't attack the project from design. We didn't attack even we're mentioning a lot of numbers. We are big on data. Okay. Right. Assuming you don't have this brand, how much do you think you're going to get? We are saying, if you set a target, because we'll be able to understand your brand so well. We'll be able to design and create a brand strategy, the brand identity that will resonate with them well, give them a better mind share for them to buy better. That's how I think we're able to win the gig. Fast forward, it depends on the project though. Every project has its dynamics. Research is a big deal. Yeah. It's a really big deal to us. We call it the discovery phase or the deep dive. We break it down into 3 parts. We have the in-person conversation where if it's a big team, would first have conversations with those making the big decisions. Okay. Why do you want to do this? Why are you going? Stuff like that. Then we move to if it's the management level, if it's everybody around. Trickle down to the last person in the business. If it's even the cleaner, if it's even the security person. Because if you're not able to build you could be working in a space and really don't care about what happens in the space. True. I'm just going to work to make money. That's just it. To pay bills. But people could have their own perception. And we don't even treat it like we are coming to work for you.
Okay.
Like, we just want to get a random. We don't do a lot of, what's the name? Where you fill forms and things. Not contract, where we ask a couple of questions. What are your vision, mission?
Okay.
We kind of feel like those things limit you to what you really want to express. We can have our deep dive session. We ask you, what is your kind of man?
Interesting.
Like, where do you really like to travel to? What is your kind of car? Like, when you get some of these ideas, first and foremost, it loosens people. People get loosened up.
Yeah.
Besides that, you could tell what kind of people are working in the space based on some of the things they choose, right? When I come and I ask you what are your goals and ambitions, I'm sure you'll be mentioning things to be the best, the premier business in Africa, and it's really just blunt. You really get to extract what you really want. So we go big on the deep dive, a lot of the questioning in person. Then we understand your environment. We really don't like calling it competitors now because there's a lot of collaborations now. We actually even encourage a lot of collaborations as compared to competition. So we try to understand, should you really look different? Should I come to a space and feel you are a mechanic shop or you're a bank?
Okay.
All right, so therefore you're a car. So you need to really understand what's happening in your industry. So we do a lot of research. Like, we will come and then we'll be mentioning numbers. We'll be mentioning the terms that and you'll be like, have these people really worked in this space before? Because we try to understand the terrain really well. Finally, are the people you work with, like your customers, your audience. That's if you already have an existing audience. We could visit one of them, we could visit some people and ask them what they think, random people, what they feel. I have a problem, do you have a problem? Some will think you are coming to do, some will think you want to know what they think. And yeah, it actually even helps. So we merge these three, your audience, the proposed audience, the space of where you work, your ecosystem, and then what you really want to drive. And say, based on this, you're going to define your brand. So we move to the brand strategy phase where we define your brand. We have different ways we attack it. We would either build it on 3 pillars, or we define that we have what we call we would define your product. Our product is not basically a podcast. What is the emotional drain from what you're doing? Okay. That's what we call the product. Then that's what we call the brand essence. Let me just use the other words. The brand essence, and we'd have the brand promise. That's basically what are you promising your audience, right? What are they going to benefit from you? Yeah. And finally is your brand purpose. Why do you exist? What's that value you're given? Then we finally move to what we call the brand definition. That's really what we call the value proposition or the brand statement. This is where we say, where if nobody remembers anything, everybody should remember this. Okay. Like in Sculpta, our philosophy is think upside down. When you don't remember anything, you remember think upside down. So we do this by merging these three arms and say, based on these 3 arms, because it's a sequence. That's why I do, like, you see it and say, from what I do, this is it. We think all of the different things you're saying would narrow into this, and that is where we think everybody would understand where you're going as a brand. Then we do the values, your tone of voice, what we call the brand voice. How do you sound? One of the things we've been big on this year is sound design as well. I'm sure you remember way back where you hear your Milo, like yeah. All of those things there. There are things that we would build. Then that's after building all these things before we would say we are going to your identity, your logos, your colors, and all of those things, because we are coming from a very big point, right? Let's say your brand is focused on passion, right? Let me just use passion led us here. Right? Let me just use this, right? And after the whole big narrowing, right, we get down to passion led us here. Questioning is, how do we even represent passion led us here? That is where we go. Do we want to do a word mark? Do we want to do a logo mark? Do we want to do a mascot based on the things where we are coming from, right? An example is we build it's interestingly the brand has been built, but they'll be launching it next year December. So I built this brand from 2021.
Oh.
It's 2022, I guess. Yeah, as a product in the market, I can't mention the name yet. And we looked deep and said, no, let's give you a mascot, right? And so basically, when we want to give you a mascot, questioning what kind of mascot do you do? How does the mascot even drive the passion? What is passionate? If you are doing animals, it's an animal passion. What kind of animal is passionate? If maybe you even narrow it down to a parrot, okay, or even not if you narrow it down to a bird, what kind of bird would tie into everything aside being passionate? That is when we'd move into the everything, the design, the colors. And colors, that's one of the things when it comes to colors, we really run away from a lot of the internet conversations. We name every color for clients. We hear things like sun yellow, morning blue, futurist green, the next dog spark. Basically, it's intentional. We don't like you to call your logos my logo. No, you should use a name for it.
Okay.
Sunweb, stuff like that. And when it comes to colors, we wouldn't say because the internet is saying blue means loyalty, we should use loyalty. That's why I realize in the corporate space, find a lot of blue. Because that's what the internet is telling everybody. The question we ask ourselves is, why is the internet saying it's blue?
Okay.
Right? An example is purple. On the internet, to tell you purple means royalty. It trickles down to way back in the whole way back. Getting pigment purple was very difficult. It was really won by royals. By Ghana, that's purple means royalty. What means royalty? Gold. Right. So basically, it has to really, really be relatable. So an example is if you want to do an environment conversations. Questioning is you find a lot of people do greens. Our question is what's the other thing that would complement the whole green conversation if it's not green, because you'd want to, I don't like that word, stand out, but you could use a brown, you could use an orange and say orange means desert. In the next few years, if you don't have our greens, filled up, you're going to have a desert. So let's push the desert conversation to remind people that let's not get to orange, that is our desert, right? Then the stylescape, where every designer gets excited about where you want to.
That's what we like.
Yeah, where you want to do. And then finally with the mock-ups. One of the things I find interesting when I see Lauren Ipsum's on mock-ups, I'm like, couldn't you look further? Can't you at least put things that we could relate with? Stuff passion led us here. What could we get from passion? Right? Passion could be, I don't know, it could be anything. Right. So yeah, I think in summary, that's really how we.
He did talk about the part I'm not. Please, the negotiation part.
Negotiation part.
That's the last one before.
Okay, so we don't charge according to shapes, and we throw you numbers, right? So question is, what does this mean to you? How valuable it is? Is it to you? So we are telling you want to move from point 1 to point B. How much is it going to cost you? We think this is what's going to cost you to move to this very one. We are not charging really because this is what's costing you. Because if they are going to charge you for the next 10 years or 15 years of the value of a brand, you can't pay. Right. So can we give you a fraction of what it is and we tell you are giving you a discount? And the discount is like we know we want to hit this amount, we add 10.5. A 10% and say we are giving you the 10% discount. But really, that is really what we are charging you.
What if your client is watching?
Oh, they should watch. They should get a cue.
Yeah, I learned now from a friend too. So you are going to charge a client X amount. You charge that amount and then put like, this is what I would have been charging you when I put this discount. It's a smart thing to do.
But we actually don't really start from money conversations. Because once you start from money, then you've closed everybody. Because everybody won't pay Skadodo. If you like money, like, you don't have money, that's what everybody does. You don't have money. Right? But when you start mentioning numbers to them, then they begin to realize that, okay, if I put in X amount, I'll get X amount. Yeah, that's simply it. We
Beautiful.
like numbers.
Beautiful.
That's why we call our finance numbers.
So I mean that's money now. Anyways, repeat and complete. Right.
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen someone.
I've seen it, but I don't think I remember.
That's good. So I'll say a phrase, you repeat it and complete it.
Okay.
Repeat it and complete it. If you answer it, we'll fight.
Wow.
An example is my name is, you repeat, my name is James Maxwellson. Good?
I'm just hoping there's no one of these teachers thing to tell you my name is find X, and the next time they're telling you when it comes to exams is
give you an example. No, it's simple.
All right.
So first one, when I'm not working, you can find me
sleeping.
You answer the question. When I'm not working, you can find me. So
when I'm not working, you can find me sleeping.
Good. One thing people would be surprised to know about me is.
One thing people will be surprised to know about me is that I'm an introvert.
Well, you look like one. The first app I open in the morning is?
First app I open in the morning is Notes.
Why?
I think Notes is like my main app. Every other app doesn't have notification. When I go for meetings, it's Notes. When I have any ideas, Notes.
Okay. Fourth time, if I could have any superpower, it would be?
To do too many things at the same time. If I could have any superpower, is to do anything. Hey. Wait. If I have a superpower, it should be at so many places at different times, to do different things at different times.
That's a hard request. Hey. Fifth one. My favorite way to unwind after a long day is?
My favorite
way to unwind after a long day?
After a long day is to watch movies.
If I could travel anywhere in the world right now, I would go to?
Mars.
If I could travel
anywhere in the world right now, I would go to Mars.
7. If I could swap lives with anyone for a day, it would be?
If I could swap lives... Hey, this is hard. If I could swap lives in a day... If I could swap lives with someone anyone in a day, it would be Elon Musk.
That guy, the number of God I've taken his life. If I could only eat one food for the rest of my life, it would be?
If I could eat only one food in the rest of my life, it would be kusani meko.
Is that food?
It's really food, yeah. It is.
It's not. It's a snack.
It is. If you give me 5, I'll be fine. Or 10.
10?
I've done 15 before.
At a sitting?
At a go. Yeah.
If I could swap jobs with anyone for a day, it would be... If I could swap jobs with anyone for a day, it would be to be a receptionist. Why?
I think you get to see everybody that comes in.
Wait, a receptionist at a hotel or a company?
Anywhere.
Because if it's at a hotel, then I understand. In case maybe my friend's girlfriend comes in.
I like just, so maybe a hotel.
Anyways, for the people watching, advice for maybe their career, for the designers too as well. I mean, you give them some stuff in there. But any advice for them?
It was something that Elon Musk said. Elon Musk said, if you want motivation to be an entrepreneur, don't start.
It's my first time hearing that. It actually hits. Anyways, please tell us. Okay.
I personally think just know what you want to do and do it well.
That's all.
Yeah.
Just know what you want to do and do it well. Please tell them to subscribe. Maybe they will if you say it.
I think you should subscribe. Like, share, comment, download.
Copy the link.
Paste share the link, and everything in between.
Share the link for hour. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. And James, thank you this was a very in-depth conversation on branding. So I loved it. Thank you so much.
You're very much welcome. That's great.